Hello, Leo. This is your tarot reading for love and relationships, February 2019. So, as you can see, I'm cutting the cards right now. There are going to be 9 cards for the main reading, and then I will pull one more card, a 10th card, after I give the main reading. That's going to be the outcome card. I am aware that Valentine's Day is February 14th because we've been seeing nothing but candy and hearts and Valentine's Day paraphernalia since New Year's Day. So some of you are probably watching this video with a little bit of apprehension. But just have an open mind as I focus on messages from the Oracle. And just understand this is a general reading for all Leos. Just remember that the best way to get your questions answered are to make an appointment with me for a personal reading. So I'm reading for all Leos. I'm going to try to be as general enough to address any issues you guys are having, but also be specific enough to let you know what to expect in February. So you do have this 4 of Cups in the middle. This is your root card. This tells me what the general energy is for the month of February. And the 4 of Cups is a pretty self-centered card. So some of you might be in relationships or dating someone who emotionally is not very generous right now. It seems like they're too mysterious, or they're emotionally pulling back. And if you're in a long-term relationship, that 4 of Cups can also mean fear of commitment. But in general, the 4 of Cups, you see the boy looking at the 3 cups, but he's ignoring the 4th cup. So usually that's not seeing what your options are, not opening your eyes to other possibilities. But in some contexts, especially if you are dating someone with a lot of water energy, who's very intuitive, sometimes people can be emotionally wishy-washy. So that is probably what some of you might be getting. And fire and water, yes, they're not exactly very complementary. Fire is very intense. It changes everything it touches. Water is it's also more fluid. Fire and water can't necessarily be contained. They're not necessarily hard elements. But with water, you have this sense of more introvertedness and just more passiveness, where you have a Leo with a fire energy who wants to just get everything started right away. Can't wait, let's do this, what are you waiting for? So that's the kind of issues that I might see some of you Leos dealing with as far as your relationships. What are you waiting for? Stop being so scared. You can trust me. So some of your partners, even if they're not water signs, they're probably also dealing with some emotional baggage. Also, look at your major arcana. You've got quite a few here. You've got 4. You've got the shadow side, followed by the Emperor. Very powerful combination, because the shadow side is about fighting off demons, fighting off negative energies, being addicted to something and overcoming that addiction. But in relationship readings, it can definitely refer to a dysfunctional, toxic relationship, someone who has power over you in the relationship. And but it is about fighting that negative energy back, and that's when the Emperor can be very helpful here. And these first 3 cards are the past. So I'm seeing you, Leo, especially seeing that the Emperor has that scepter, that wand. I'm seeing you negotiate your partner's emotional wishy-washiness, because you'll also see that Page of Swords, ready to deal with all the BS, get straight to the truth. Air nurtures fire, by the way. So these two major arcana cards, they're part of a very intense past, a lot of issues that you've had to deal with as far as how your partner feels, and your partner backing off or refusing to be emotionally available. So when we get here, you have the Tower for your next major arcana, tearing it all down, starting over. Maybe this will be your attitude, because you do have this Four of Cups surrounded by the Tower, and you'll see a little bit of an explosion. So maybe you finally blew your top, Leo. You got tired of all the manipulation. And then on the other side of that Four of Cups, you have a Ten of Wands. More fire here. Being overwhelmed, feeling stressed out, having too much to do. And sometimes the Ten of Wands means lightening the load, ditching things that do not serve you. And I think that is probably what you are going to do. Strip everything down, get through the baggage with your partner, be unequivocal, like, do you want to be in this relationship or not? But your partner can't just keep ganking you around, if that makes any sense. So your fourth and last major arcana, this is in the future, and this is wonderful. It's wonderful because this is the Hierophant, also considered the Pope, and the Hierophant is wise. He's a mediator. Sometimes he represents a wedding because priests officiate weddings. And it can mean some legal issues, not just a marriage, but also negotiating a divorce, trying to work things out. So I'm seeing a breakthrough here with your partner. And you have that Nine of Pentacles here. This is Earth. And Earth is a nice mediator between you two because it's grounded, it's stable, and it seems to present some common ground. It's also the card of joy and prosperity as well, especially within family life. So when you get this Ace of Swords, and it's with the Pope, keep in mind that one sword, which represents air, is the card of clarity, truth, making decisions. And so it feels as if, Leo, some of this air energy is coming through for you, to where you can just get straight to the issue, but also taking your power back with your partner. Your partner just can't call the shots anymore. And so that Nine of Pentacles, it's always, 9 is a nice number because it's the number of completion. And it's also the card of prosperity and happiness. And so I interpret that card as you and your partner or your love interest just being able to go out, be together, establish a strong relationship again. So what's going to happen now is that I'm pulling an outcome card, and this will kind of tie everything together here. But just keep in mind, I think it's interesting how you do have a lot of that push-pull, especially with that Four of Cups in the middle. And look at that. Now this is interesting because, as I said, that Four of Cups, it was like the Oracle was showing me a lot of the emotional baggage and manipulation that you have been putting up with your partner. But when we get to a Page of Cups, all of a sudden that emotional baggage, it sort of just opens up, ready for love, ready to move forward. And so it's pretty good that the Hierophant and the Ace of Swords came along, but it was also, I feel, you being able to get things straightened out, establish where you stand in the relationship. So there's going to be a little bit of boundary setting. But either way, it feels as if when you go into March with that Page of Cups, you're going to find more openness and a sense of trust, emotional trust, that you feel like you and this other person, there might actually be a way that you two can move forward together. Okay? So that was your reading. Thank you to all my new subscribers, my clients, my regulars. Thank you so much for your support. I hope you're staying safe during this weather, especially if you're on the other side of the Mississippi. But once again, no matter what your circumstances are, have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Surround yourself with love. You are loved. And just be good to yourself. And I'll see you next month. As always, I wish you love and light.